direct it to everybody, or you could direct it to just me, or just Kat, or just Queen Mary. There are 10 names in this hat. I'm going to pick 5, and that will be the order, and it is completely random. Unless you Venmo me very quickly, then I can make it a little less random, if you know what I mean. All right. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the order. Number 1 will be JP. JP, get ready. Number 2 will be Tina. Number 3 will be Neshama. Number 4 will be James. Oof, we got some talent here tonight, baby. And number 5 will be Madeleine. Madeleine, I'm only paying in US currency. Sorry. I don't know if that works for you or against you if you win, but I'm not dealing with this Canadian shit. I'm sorry. I'm just not. Again, that's JP. Yeah, JP in Northern California. Tina's in New York. Neshama's also in Northern California. James is in Chicago. Madeleine is in Quebec. I am going to find JP. I'm going to spotlight him. And JP, unmute yourself when you're ready and take your time.
I seem to get picked first for everything, which usually is cool, but anyways. All right. I am only 12, but since I have paper out money, I am allowed to hang out with the 13 and 14-year-old boys who hang out behind the snack shack at the pool. And they are there to lie in wait for girls that are going to come to buy ice cream or use the bathroom. And the whole thing that they talk about is how they're going to snap the bikini tops off of the girls when they come. And then this other guy says, I'm going to pants a girl. And this guy, Mark, the kid, the kid, he has that mustache that really looks like a dirt smear. And he says, I'm going to finger bang Jill. I don't know what finger bang means. I don't ask. I don't know if this is what they have been doing every single day this summer, because this is the first time I've been allowed to hang out with them. The girls, though, seem to know what is up. They only travel in groups. And anytime they go to the bathroom, there's always 3 or 4 girls together. And some of the girls, every time they leave the pool area where they're all lying out in the sun, they put a t-shirt on. But other girls don't put a t-shirt on. And those girls seem to have this nervous kind of confidence as they walk towards us. And Jill is with those girls. And as they are coming, I feel the energy from the boys, this vibration happen. And the girls turn the corner, and I'm expecting something to happen. And Jill goes, hey, Mark, what are you guys doing? And Mark goes, we're just hanging. And then the girls turn and walk away. This weird little giggle, and a few of the girls who don't wear t-shirts look over their shoulders at the boys. I'm 56 years old. I still have no idea what the fuck is going on. Thank you.
Thank you, JP. JP lives in JP's in Northern California right now, but it's so interesting with Zoom, Queen Mary. We got a real inside look at people's lives. Like, that's his bedroom, probably. That's where he sleeps and does stuff.
And does stuff.
Does stuff.
You know what I mean? We got like you usually wouldn't see people's lives like this. We really got like an inside.
Yeah. It's cool in some ways. In some ways, it's terrifying.
In some ways, it's a little too much information. Terrifying is a great word. It's a fucking great word. Fucking terrifying.
Terrifying. Not you, JP. You're fine. I'm just talking about some other folks.
Like, yes, Richard. You could. Yes, I'm not getting fancier. You can see my microwave. You can see a bag of something behind me. I know. Understood. All right. Just so you know, we might have an 11th storyteller who let me know, but I didn't get the message clearly. And if that's the case, we will tinker around the section 1 to 4 tellers. We're going to work it out. I'm going to figure it out. But either way, Tina's going to be our second teller. And while Tina's telling, we'll work it out. Introducing Tina. She's in upstate New York somewhere. She's also a lovely human being. I'm going to spotlight her. And Tina, when you are ready, take it away.
Okay. As you could expect, living in a farmhouse that was built in 1760, we have a lot of ghosts. we're selling that house, and we're going to leave two ghosts behind, our two cats, Fluffy and Louie. Fluffy was a Burman, which kind of looks like a fluffy Siamese. They call him the sacred cat of Burman. And Louie is a Burmese, chocolate Burmese. They call that the velvet brick. Now, we had him for 15 years, and they had a good life. And one day I get a call at work from my vet, who's there with my husband. And she says, we think it's time for Fluffy to go. And so I say, well, can we wait? Can we wait till I get home from work? And she says, okay. Well, I get home very late that night, and I call her up. It's about 9 o'clock. And I said, listen, can we do it in the morning? And she says, okay. So I go back downstairs to watch TV with my husband, and the phone rings. It's the vet. And she says, Fluffy, poor Fluffy, he's really in bad shape. He's in pain, and I really think you should let him go. So I say, okay, and we'll pick him up in the morning, his body in the morning. So we're downstairs and we're weeping over our cat. And all of a sudden, Noble says, oh my God, Tina. And I said, what? He said, this white ball of light that looked just like Fluffy was right there in front of the TV. And then he just looked at me, and then he went straight up into the air in this beam of white light. So I write down the time from the cable box that Noble saw that. And so the next morning we go in and to pick up Fluffy. And I tell the vet the story. Of course she doesn't believe me. So I say, well, you pull up the time on your computer and you tell me the time of Fluffy's death. And she says, 10:48. And I reach into my pocket and I take out that piece of paper, and it says 10:48. Boom.
Thank you, Tina. If you're new to this, sometimes storytellers end their stories with boom. It's just to let us know. You don't have to do it. You can say thanks. You can say nothing. We can figure it out usually.
Yeah.
We give you the benefit of the doubt. Always. Am I right, Queen Mary?
Always.
Queen Mary just celebrated a birthday. She's up in Massachusetts.
Right.
Made it another year.
Yeah, I'm happy. Every day on this side of the dirt is a good day. That's my philosophy now.
You got 99 problems, and what? What was the
Storytelling ain't one.
storytelling? Ain't one of them, Chicos.
That's right.
All right. Still working out. So we will have a minimum of 4, potentially 5 storytellers. So either way, the third storyteller called for this first section is Neshama. And regardless of how we restructure this for the 11th teller, Neshama is going to tell a story. We are going back to Northern California. And Neshama, when you are ready, young lady, take it away.
I hate the holidays. From the very beginning, I knew how hypocritical they were. And then I married a man and he felt the same way. And we avoided them until we had kids, and you can't exactly avoid them. So we tried the holidays, but it was pretty half-assed. And then deep in the heart of the human potential movement, when you have to be authentic, we looked at the kids and we said, these holidays are bullshit. We're going to cancel Christmas. And my daughter, we had no idea. She had spent the entire semester in art shop. She was about 10, making gifts for us. And when she heard we canceled Christmas, she surreptitiously took them out to the back field, and she burned the books and the poems and the paintings and the drawings, and she smashed the sculpture, and she cut up the weavings, and she buried it all. And I didn't know about this for a long, long time. It was the central trauma, she told me, of her childhood. I thought she was doing okay because she did lavish celebrations for her own children, but she told me they were awful because I always wanted to do it perfectly, and I knew it was never right. Now, a good 3 decades has passed, and everything is a little calmer. On her mantle are just a few branches and maybe a light and an ornament. And For once, it finally feels like comfort and joy, and at last there's forgiveness on both sides. Mm.
Thank you, Neshama. All right, all right. Now again, what we're gonna do, we had a little misunderstanding. It's my fault. We have an 11th storyteller. So we originally were at 5 and 5. Now we're gonna move to the 4-3-3 model,
Yes.
which means our 4th storyteller will tell in this round, and then we will have, is my math right? No, 4-4-3.
4-4-3.
Richard, stop. Look, Richard's a numbers guy, and the moment I said 4-3-3, I know what he's thinking. You know,
It's all right.
3 equals 11, and that's what we're gonna do. And then we'll have Mary. Well, Kat put a teller through as well, and Queen Mary, you as well. So pay attention.
All right. I have
Our
to.
final storyteller for the revised round, section 1 of round 1, as based on what the names I picked, his name is James Peterson, and he's in Chicago. Let's hear his stuff.
Can you hear? The cab pulled to the curb. The driver was sobbing. This is unusual behavior even in Chicago. I'd caught the cab a couple of minutes earlier, and the driver only wanted to talk, to explain why he would never retire, how he loved to hear people's stories, to make a connection with a stranger. And he'd ask me, do you feel the same? And I said, no. He turned away and turned on the radio. And a story had come on that a famous actress from the 40s, Deanna Durbin, had died in France. She had had the voice of an angel. She had starred in movies with Judy Garland and Mickey Rooney, and then she had disappeared in 1949, complete from public view, no word, no sight. The driver was sobbing, and he said, they said they had to fire her. She violated her morals clause, that she slept with everyone in Hollywood, that she did drugs, that she drank, but she wasn't lying in the gutter dead. She was in France. And he continued to cry. I put my hand on his shoulder and realized, oh, this is the power of connection.
Thanks, James. James is a renegade or contrarian, or call him whatever you want. He will not say boom. He just decides to snap.
Well,
Mary, hey, it's good, right? You could what? Okay.
James was going to say something. Well, James.
Yeah,
what?
no, yes, by all
I was
means.
going to say this camera has stereo microphones. I have to give it something to do.
Thanks,
So
guys.
JP at 12 years old was hanging out with the boys and watching the girls, and says even at 56, he doesn't know what the hell's going on. Tina saw a light ball light when Fluffy left this world to go to the other worlds, and matched it with the time with her veterinarian. Neshama may have caused some heartache for her 10-year-old daughter when she canceled Christmas because the holidays are bullshit. But it has all come around for comfort, joy, and forgiveness. And James made a connection with a cabbie who was sobbing over a famous actress's death.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah,
Can
love.
you do your summary of JP again and Tina, just to make sure I'm clear on that and I get a good summary?
So JP's story was about when he was 12 and the boys were talking big, and then nothing happened. So, and Tina's was the a bit about the supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Questioning death. What really happens? We became a fluff ball.
All right. I think between their stories and your summary and these words, we are good. So
Yeah.
JP, Tina, Neshama, and James, We're going to launch that, and hopefully people will, or at least they will forgive. All right, cool. Let's do it. Everyone gets to vote except for me and Kat and Mary.
Look at that.
Close. We'll give it another like 10 or 15 seconds.
Mhm.
All right. If you haven't, I think there's one more person that could vote. All right, let's close it down. Cool.
Sounds good.
All right, and my mistake. So yes, my part of my job is to put this up there, and I do usually. I guess I just had a brain fart, so I apologize. Let me put. So those 4 names are done. Thanks, y'all. Let's put the next. I'm gonna pull 4 more names, and then the final section will be 3 names. So I'm gonna go back into the hat, and just so Kat and Mary know, you saw the poll results. You don't have to say anything. You saw the results, and you're paying attention for your. Yep. Did that just show to everyone?
No, I just ended it, but I didn't share.
All right, next up, Madeleine, Teo, or Tayo, I think it's Teo, Barbara, and Emily. Again, that is Madeleine, Teo, Barbara, and Emily. Next, and Madeleine is up in the Quebec area. Let me find her where she is, and I will spotlight you. Madeleine, take your time whenever you're ready.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. At 18, I empty my bank account and buy a plane ticket out west. It's my first solo trip. What's your plan? My mom says, you're spending all your money. You'll be broke. And my answer is, the Lord will provide. I knew it was cheeky, but I hear sayings like this so often in my life. They're encoded in my DNA. I take the trip and I spend all my money, and I do come back broke. I'll give her that. 2 days after my trip, I'm hit by a car in bad weather, and I end up in a Montreal hospital in a coma for weeks. I float back and forth from consciousness. I have nightmares. I have drug-induced dreams. I feel like I have ants crawling all over my body. I think I'm losing my mind. At one point, there's a tall man standing beside my bed. I'm terrified. I don't know if it's a ghost or the devil or some angel maybe coming to bring me some good news. No such luck there. My name is Dr. Moore, he says while he turns on the light above my head. I'm your neurosurgeon. I've re-stabilized your neck, but you'll never walk again. And he says a bunch of other things, but I just can only hear my mother's voice in my head say, be careful what you ask for. The world can be tricky and you might not like what you get.
Thank you, Madeleine. All right, Madeleine in Quebec is the first teller of round 1, section 2. Thank you, Madeleine. Let us find Mr. Teo. There he is. He had some computer problems. So if for whatever reason, Teo, this crashes, you'll just come back. But I'm going to spotlight you. Take your time. Break a leg.
Awesome. Yeah, I appreciate it. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're good.
Wonderful. I like you. God, how few times I had said those precious words. I'm a senior in high school and I've had, let's see, 1 real relationship. Well, it was real to me. She didn't want to put a label on it, but she was 2 years older. Cool, smart, outgoing. I totally understood. But again, now I'm sitting in an empty baseball field parking lot in my mom's silver tiny Hyundai accent, as my head presses into the roof of the car, I say the words again. I like you. And Amber, she sits there more comfortably than me in this European-sized car, smiling. The sun setting and breathing golden fire into her hair. And she says the words back to me. I like you. And the words feel like the most refreshing breeze, and I am happy. Now, Amber is white, which is not surprising because I grew up in a 20,000 person town in Wisconsin, and being diverse there typically means you're a Vikings fan. But despite the constant reminders from my father that the world is deeply racist, I don't worry. The civil rights movement happened 50 years ago, and we have a black president. That night, Amber calls me, and I can tell she's been crying for a while. I mentioned you were black, and my parents said we can't date. I felt stupid for feeling as shocked as I was.
Boom. Thanks, Tayo. Is it Tayo?
Tayo, yes. Yeah, Tayo.
I got it
right? Yep.
right.
I appreciate it.
A mutual friend on here helped me with your pronunciation, so I appreciate that. Thanks for joining us, man. And you're in Massachusetts?
I am in Massachusetts. That's correct.
Commonwealth. Mary, no favoritism here just because it's in Massachusetts.
I understand, but
all right, let's remove that spotlight. We've got two more people in section 2 of the first round. Where is Ms. Barbara Peterson? There she is. We're moving right along. Barbara, I'm going to unmute you. Yep.
uh-oh.
There you go. Take your time.
Yeah. Thank you. July 20th, 1969, the day of the Apollo moon landing, and I'm sharing a back seat with my new step grandma, Mary. We're relocating her to our new big house in a suburb of Chicago from a cramped Jersey City apartment. And she's frightened and crying over leaving the only place on this planet that she's ever lived in her 76 years. And I totally empathize because even though I'm only 16, I'm also lonely and feel so out of place at this new high school I'm in. I hold her hand and make happy small talk, and I try to comfort her, let her know she's not alone, but she has a new friend who knows what it feels like to be uprooted against her will. And in doing so, I feel my own loneliness and self-pity evaporate for a time. We get a motel room in Ohio and are huddled in anticipation in front of the TV to watch Neil Armstrong be the first human being to walk on another planet. As he descends the ladder and he makes his one small step for all of us, the elation I feel in the moment transports me out of my teenage miseries. And I suddenly feel a very strong sense of kinship with Neil too, because he, me, and Grandma Mary were all learning to negotiate alien and sometimes hostile territories. He on the cold, hard, bright surface of the moon, me unwillingly tossed and adrift in an uncharted sea of 3,000 students, lonely without any close friends to anchor me, and timid Grandma Mary fearfully going to live among family members she's never known before and in a place she's never been. But now at least she and I are going to have each other. Boom.
Thank you, Bob. Chicagoland area. All right. Mary, can you hear me okay? Because I had some weird stuff with my volume.
Yeah, I can hear you. We had a little like.
I know my microphone does weird things sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, that was Madeleine in Quebec and Tayo in the Commonwealth that you are so familiar with, Mary. The place where you grew up, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, very true. My accent gives me away.
A little bit,
tiny bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
99 problems, and your accent ain't one of them, is it?
That's also true.
And we'll unmute Dottie at some point if you want to hear a little Boston area for you.
Oh, there you go.
You want to hear some Massachusetts and Boston, and we had Barbara in Chicago, our final storytellers of this section, and then we'll go to the poll after your summaries. Is Emily? She's somewhere in the Pacific Northwest. She moves around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
She probably doesn't move around very much. I don't know.
She's been in different places when she's been telling stories. So, yeah.
All right, Emily, take it away whenever you're ready.
middle school teaching in a pandemic is nearly impossible. And quickly, as a way to cope, Spirit Days became about the teachers and not about the students. Teachers were going all out. And so when the announcement came over the intercom in my homeroom period and said, Twin Day is next week, I looked at my co-teacher, Andrea. We just smiled and pointed at each other because we knew we were going to win this. After school, Andrea and I got together and decided to pick out a suit off of Amazon with a garish Christmas print. We were going to have ties and suit jackets and pants. We were going to match and it was going to be amazing. We ordered them and it was only $70, which on a teacher's salary is a bit much, but $70 to win Twin Day, worth it. Unfortunately, when the suits arrived, the pants, they were made for men and they could not fit over our lady hips. They only came halfway up our asses. Even in that, we were twins. And we were a little bit horrified that we had just wasted $70 on this. Except Andrea remembered that the art teacher did cosplay and made his own costumes. This is why you never cut the arts. And he could maybe fix our pants. It took him 2 hours on a school night, but he did it. He put in panels. And the next day when we showed up for Twin Day, we horrified children, we gained the respect of adults, but more importantly, we got through another damn day.
Thank you, Emily.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanking me. Oh, I see what's going on. All right, cool. Thanks. So, all right, Mary.
Yes.
4 tellers, at or under time. You will do what you do as well as anybody in the world and do your summaries, and then we will have another vote.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
So Madeleine had all of those quotes from her mother and had a great time on a trip, but not so much when she got back and got hit by a car. Teo liked Amber and she liked him, but her parents got involved and stopped the love from happening. Barbara, she had things in common with Neil Armstrong and her grandmother. All of them were negotiating foreign lands, whether it was Barbara's school, grandma living with family she didn't know, or Neil Armstrong walking on the moon. And Emily won, maybe didn't win Twin Day, but had a great time with Suits and her friends to get it done.
All right, so just make sure I'm clear here. Let's say one or 2 words for each of them. Madeleine, what's 1 or 2 words? I'm putting you on the spot.
That's okay.
Tough, right?
I know. Trip and then accident.
Okay.
Teo would be, I like you.
I can do that. I just want to be fair. I'm just trying to be fair here.
I got
Barbara?
you. Barbara's grandma Neil Armstrong, maybe?
Look, I mean, people just heard the stories, right? So
Yes, right.
they know what they like.
No, this
All
is
right,
a
and
very
Emily,
smart
I've
kid.
got Suits and Friends. Does that work?
Yes, I think that's good.
Great. Okay, cool. So let's launch this poll and we'll have one more. And this is the section that the tellers were hoping they got to be in because it's one fewer teller.
Great.
Fewer teller or one less?
Fewer. Fewer. Fewer, less.
Hang on. I gotta find this. I'm having a little issue with my polls. Hang on. For some reason, y'all, I am having an issue finding this poll. Hang on.
Stand by, y'all.
What's that?
Stand by, y'all.
Stand by, y'all.
Yeah. We got 99 problems and now a poll is one.
We got 99 problems and a poll is one of them. Let us see. I think I'm gonna have to do this again.
Okay.
Hang on. Bear with us, please. Hang on. The back end issues, right?
Everybody wants to vote. I can feel their fingers.
Yeah. Now's a good time to, probably gonna take like 30, 45 seconds here. So if you want to get a drink, go to the bathroom, I'm working it out. For some reason, I'm having a weird glitch that I've not seen before.
Oh.
And I don't exactly know why. I'm trying to end the poll and I can't. That's the issue. So hang on.
Little
Kim?
comedy going on in the chat, so don't worry.
Still some time for me here. We'll work it out. I don't understand what's going on. This has never happened before.
Wow.
Sorry, y'all.
Is it not letting you launch?
Yeah, let's do it again. Hang on.
All right.
I think I got it worked out. If not, then if this doesn't work, we're gonna have people just send you their favorite storyteller
Okay.
in the chat directly to Mary. But let's see if we could. Hang on one sec for me. Thanks for your
Okay.
patience.
Thanks, Sherry.
All right, so. All right, so tell me the 1 or 2 words from Madeleine again, please.
Trip accident
All right.
and
Bio.
I like you. Those stupid parents.
Either way, yeah. We had Barbara.
Grandma and Neil Armstrong.
Okay. And Emily. Suits and what?
Suits and friends.
All right. Let's cross our fingers that this works. Appreciate your patience. And if it doesn't, then I'm going to break my computer, and then you're going to send your results.
That makes sense.
All right, Madeleine, Taya, Barbara, and Emily. This looks to be good. All right,
Everybody wants to vote.
Everybody that can vote. Everyone,
Barbara,
thank
come
you.
on.
Voting is a happening.
Oh, it's really close, huh?
Vote is close.
Yep.
My goodness.
We have a few more people can vote.
People can vote.
2 more people can vote, and it's going to make a difference. So let's wait a little bit.
Seriously.
We're going to give it 20 more seconds. There's one
Okay.
person who hasn't voted.
Yeah. whoever
We are
needs to
waiting
vote.
for you. We are waiting for you.
We are waiting. Well,
All right. So when we have a tie,
mhm.
and when we have a tie, we have another poll. So
Yes.
in the longest poll that has ever been created, I need to now make another poll.
Oh, the gods are testing you, Sean.
Yep. So let me end it. And in a moment, I'm going to put up essentially the tiebreaker. And if there's a tie after that, then we're just going to put both through.
Right. But y'all get to vote again, which is so exciting.
Yep. And there's just going to be 2 names, and you'll see them in a moment. I'm doing my my very best to sort of surprise here. Just the names this time, okay? What's happening? That's so funny.
Well, did you mean to stop? What is happening, Sean?
Fucking crazy day. Here we go. Last one. Let's launch it. These are the 2 that tied for section 2. It's really good. Ooh, it's close. It's close.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Kat, you can see that, and Mary, you can see that. We're having
Yeah.
this, and this isn't even like a photo. Like this isn't even one of these like Zoom bombers. It's just all sorts of wacky things happening.
Mhm.
All right. Couple more minutes. I think we have a winner.
Yeah,
I think we can close it down. All
I
right,
think.
let's end that. Cool. All right, let's go to our final 3, and then just get the fuck out of round 1 already. Jesus.
Put us a little bit behind.
Make sure
This is
I'm
round
muting everybody else. I'm muting you all. Not that I don't love you. Jesus. All right, 3 more people randomly selected. You're gonna see me do it right here. Tracey, Mark, Richard. A lot of talented human beings, a lot of great stories. Tracey, Mark, Richard. Let me find Miss Starin and spotlight her. And I think you're gonna have to unmute yourself, Tracey, and then take it away whenever you're ready.
Can your cousin Gina and her friends crash on your floor when they come to visit Boston? Of course, I told my mother. My cousin Gina and I had grown up pretty close, but now she was in school in upstate New York and I was in school in Boston. And this was ages before either social media or even email had been invented. And so the way we kept in touch was our parents passed messages back and forth. And I said to her, what are they coming for? When are they coming? And she said, I don't know. I'll let you know next time I talk to Billy. That was her father. And a few days later, my mother said to me, well, they're coming to go to a seafood restaurant. Well, Boston had plenty of seafood restaurants. It was famous for them, but it seemed odd to me that a group of students not known for having a lot of money would come all the way from upstate New York to Boston to visit what tended to be a higher price eating establishments. And it was especially odd to me that my hippie cousin Gina with her crazy, untamed, long, curly hair and her entirely tie-dyed wardrobe would want to eat at one of our leather-boothed, oak-tabled, repressive New England dining establishments. So that didn't entirely sit well with me, but that's what they told me. And of course, she and her friends were welcome to crash on my floor or my futon or whatever when they came. And a few days later, I picked up Boston Phoenix, which was a local arts and entertainment weekly magazine. And I was flipping through it and suddenly it all came together for me. A full page ad for the upcoming Fish concert. Boom.
Thank you, Tracey.
Thank you.
I get some weird audio going on, and I've got oof. Queen Mary, you know a little bit about this stuff. Like, what is it? Is this a certain day of the year or some astrological? What is happening today that shit's just weird? For me, not anybody that tells us. Tellers are great.
Yeah, no, it has nothing to do with the toes. It's just, I think it's user error.
80.
Oh, I had plenty
You know.
of time.
I told you 80.
I don't think anything too weird is going on astrologically. I just think it's
Mercury, the moon, rising, sun, falling. John, what fuck? Jesus.
no, Mercury isn't in retrograde yet, y'all.
Oh, it's not
yet. No, but Venus is going to be in retrograde soon, which means relationships are going to be a little wacky.
Oh, really? That's it. Is this something new for me? You think?
For you, no. It might actually be better.
Yeah.
See,
Retrograde Venus.
retrograde Venus. Yeah,
All right, I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna
goddess of love. She's not her usual self.
all right, good times.
You'll be fine, Sean.
Anyway,
Wear your Peruvian hat. That's it.
Mr. Mark back up in the Massachusetts area. Let me spotlight him. Unmute yourself. Take your time. Have some fun.
A lot of life is learning the small lessons and applying them to bigger things. Last summer, we were vacationing in Montana, Glacier National Park. There are lots of grizzly bears, and they say never go anywhere without bear spray. So I'm unpacking the bear spray, and I'm reading these teeny tiny little print instructions with these teeny tiny little thumbnail pictures. And I'm really confused because this thumbnail picture says there's this red part I'm supposed to remove, but there is no red part. And in the process, I accidentally hit fire. Just half second in the air. And in seconds, we had to flee the cabin. We'd stand outside, take huge breaths of air. We'd run in and open one window at a time. The manager came down. He brought these industrial fans. He brought these ozone generators. The ozone generator ran for like 4 hours. The fans ran for like 2 straight days. We couldn't even go in for like 2 hours. For 3 days, when we showered, like the flecks of the dust would come out of our hair and just scald our face and burn our eyes. The bigger lesson? Those fuckers who say that Capitol Hill cop Brian Sicknick died of natural causes because all they did was beat him up and spray him in the face with bear spray. They're liars. Boom.
Thank you, Mark. Met Mark among some other folks when I was up in Boston last month.
Oh.
I mean, met him in person. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I lost to him.
No, who cares about that? No one cares. All right, so that was Tracey Starin in Maspeth, Queens. Mark in the Boston area. I don't know exactly what neighborhood he's in. And finally, round one, last teller, the numbers guy in Vegas, Mr. Richard Munchkin. Let me find him. He's unmuted. I'll spotlight him. And again, if everyone's at or under time, we'll have that one final poll for round one. Richard, take it away.
I'm 5 years old. I burst into the house and I yell, "Call the fire department." And my mom says, "What's burning?" And I said, "Nothing. Taffy got out of the house and she's up the tree and she cannot get down." Taffy is our kitten. We've only had her a week. And when I had gone outside, I had opened the door and she ran outside. And when I ran after her, she ran up a tree and now she can't get down. She doesn't know how. And I've seen enough commercials to know that when that happens, you call, not commercials, cartoons, you call the fire department. And my mother says, "We're not calling the fire department. We're going to wait for your father to get home from work." So I wait outside. I keep telling Taffy, "Come down, you can do it," but she can't do it. And she's scared and she doesn't know how. And finally, my dad gets home from work and he goes in the garage and he gets a ladder. He puts it up against the tree. And now he climbs up there and he's trying to get her, but she's afraid of him. And she tries to go higher and he goes a little higher. And finally, he gets his hands on her and she sprays a massive dump all over my father. And he comes down the ladder. He looks awful. He smells worse. He hands Taffy to my mother. And he says, "I now really understand the meaning of scared shitless." Boom.
Thank you, Richard. All right. Go figure, huh? You never know what you're going to get, Mary.
Oh, no, that's why I like it. It's open and free and everybody can tell their stories as they see fit and
Sure.
they get very interesting.
Indeed, they do.
They do.
All right. Nobody was over. So we've got, again, Tracey, Mark, and Richard do the summaries. We will vote. Then we will have a very brief sort of intermission of sorts. And then we'll come back for round two. What do you got?
Yeah. All right. So Tracey was going to have her cousin Gina come and stay with her and thought they were going to a seafood restaurant in Boston, but it was actually a fish concert. Mark learned how bear spray can affect you. And while he learned that people in testifying in Capitol Hill were liars. And Richard learned the meaning of scared shitless when Taffy went up the tree and couldn't get down until Dad got her.
Give me 2 words from Mark's story.
Bear spray.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all he's getting. Cool.
Yeah.
Got it. They just heard it and you summarized it. It's all good. Let's launch this poll.
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. Tracey, Mark, and Richard. Let's launch it. Oh, it's close.
It is close.
Yeah. 4 more people can vote. It can make a difference. Who are you out there? All right, I think we can end this.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, we're on this poll. Great job, y'all. Great round one. Great round one. As always, this is our final slam of 2021.
It's crazy.
The Grand Slam coming up in January. Thanks everyone for being here. And if you want to now, I don't know, get a drink, go stretch for a couple minutes.
Go stretch.
It'll take like a few minutes. We're going to chat a little bit. I'm going to ask Mary and Kat, who are helping me out tonight, if they want to share anything about stuff they're involved with. And then I'll ask the storytellers, but they're going to do that just after we finish. Give them an opportunity to let folks know what they're doing while they patiently and nervously await. Mary, what are you up to?
What am I up to? Well, I'm gonna be in the Women's Storytelling Festival in March.
Ooh.
So buy tickets, come see us. You know, all the wonderful storytellers, including me. So we'd love to have you.
All right, and Kat, Dean, what you got?
Sadly, I'm not up to anything in particular artistically. I'm doing martial arts stuff.
Kat's a martial artist.
Fun.
Nice.
That's coming up.
And an actor. Yeah. And a storyteller. All right. All right. What do I got?
Yeah, I was gonna ask
Actually,
you.
I'm in this USA Today Storytellers Project thing on Wednesday.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. I'm not fucking around.
You don't.
Well,
That you do not.
I'm not fucking around.
No, that you do not. So
yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That's Wednesday. It's Wednesday night sometime, evening night. It's virtual.
Yeah,
And
that's nice. That sort of stayed around, that we sort of have hybrid stuff going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Next Sunday night, there's the Mental Health Happy Hour, which is an open mic. It's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. And then we have a couple other things going on. And I believe we have the Grand Slam is slated for the 9th.
We do.
And you're good for that. And some of the people who've already qualified know about that. And then some other people tonight will be eligible. And if their schedules allow and they want to join us, that would be great.
Let's hope so.
Am I right?
Yeah, because everybody has been tremendous tonight. Really.
Indeed.
Yes.
All right, I'm waiting on both Mary.
Oh, I forgot I had a vote. Yes, I do have a vote.
You got a vote? And then we will announce the 5 names that are going through to the second round. And I hope everybody can hang out and stay and watch and support and listen and vote. And then afterwards, we will hang out a little bit and we'll talk. And maybe you want to chat with the tellers or ask a question or shoot the shit. It's all good. All right. And I'm waiting on you, Mary. So no rush.
I know.
No rush.
No, I know. I'm looking through the summary. See, I got all the summaries here. I'm like, oh yeah, and that one, and that one. And it's
you got
very
a tough
hard.
choice to make. There's a lot of talented people.
They
with
make
very
it
good
hard.
stories. It does.
Really? Where'd you get that hat, Sean? The one you're wearing?
Oh, probably at like Walmart. Actually, probably not Walmart because I never go there. Maybe Kohl's. Maybe Kohl's.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's fabulous. Matches your shirt. Coordinated guy.
Okay. All right, I got your vote. All right, it's 8:02. We will announce the 5 names who are 5 human beings. I say 5 names. They're not just names.
Oh, there's human beings with stories there.
They're people.
They're people. Oh. Yes. Or doctors.
All right. I don't know if everyone's back, so let me just wait another 30 seconds or so. If you can hear my voice wherever you are in your homes, come back. Come back. We're going to announce the 5 people who are going through to the second round, and then we will we'll just pick them one at a time this time. We don't do them all at once, so you know the order. That makes it a little bit more challenging, admittedly. But I just sort of do this.
Pick them up.
One at a time. You're ready to go. You tell your story. Hopefully you're at or below time. And then we'll have one more vote, and then we'll have a winner.
Yeah.
Fair?
I think it's fabulous.
All right.
It's how we do things, Sean. It's how we do.
This is how we do things. These are the audience winners and the judges' choices in no particular order. So when you hear your name here, you'll be telling another story. And if you don't, I hope you can stick around and support. Neshama Franklin, Richard Munchkin, Emily Pitts, Barbara Peterson, and Tayo. I do not know his last name, but I'm sure it's kind of
Sanders.
Kind of a cool. What is it, Tayo?
Sorry, it's Sanders.
Oh, right. It's right in front of me.
You're
It's
good.
Tayo Sanders. And his father, by the way, Mary, is also named that. Do you know how I know?
How do you know that?
Because there's a Roman numeral 2 after his last name.
Look at that.
That's right.
It means that his dad in Wisconsin, I believe is where he's from. Because I listen.
You're very good.
Barbara, yes, we called your name. Barbara, it's complicated. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to.
You're muted, Barbara, my
Yeah,
love.
she's just saying, how did I get in? I don't understand how this works.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm more than happy to go. I just didn't understand how that worked. So
Yeah. So there were 3 people who won each section based
Right.
on the vote, and then Mary put someone through, and Kat put someone through. The non-audience winners. So that's how it works. And
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Is this new, or am I just been
Some
like?
form of this is how we've been doing it for a long time. Sometimes the numbers are a little different, but yeah, typically this is how we do it.
Okay. All right.
Hey, I mean, you want to give it away? Give it away. Give it to someone else. Maybe I wonder if people would buy this. Maybe like for $5, someone could sell their spots.
No, I'm perfectly happy.
Think anybody would buy it?
No.
No, I don't either.
No.
That'd be ridiculous.
They just go to the next one. They'd be like, I got this. I don't have to buy my way in.
No.
I have great stories. Whatever.
I see. I want to make sure Emily's still around. Barbara, I see you. Richard, I see you. Neshama and Emily.
Neshama's here.
Make sure that you're here. So if your name comes up, that you can tell your story. Neshama.
Neshama waved and Emily waved.
There
So I
she
can
is.
see them
Great.
both.
Great. So here it is. We got 29 people. We've got 5 second rounders. And the first storyteller of the second round of season 5, Slam 3 is, oh, you just heard a story from this guy, Mr. Richard Munchkin. All right. All right, you're good.
Okay. I'm 13 years old and I'm at a family dinner. My mother, father, my 2 brothers, we're in a diner, a local diner. It's the kind of place where everybody in town knows each other. And we're almost done. My mother goes off to the bathroom and she comes back. And rather than sit back down at the table, she's standing next to my father. And I look over and my father has his hand up her dress and is fondling her in the middle of the restaurant. And I look around. Now, you really wouldn't be able to see this unless you're looking closely at what's going on, but I see it and I know what's going on and I am mortified. And I'm looking around the restaurant to see if anybody else is noticing. And I say to my dad, like, Dad, we're in the middle of a restaurant. And he says, she's my wife and I'll fondle her when I want. And I look at my mother expecting her to say something. And she's just standing there with kind of a goofy grin on her face, clearly enjoying it. Now, when my dad died, my parents had been married for 57 years. And I've only been married half that. But I hope when we get to 57 years that we have the same passion for each other that my parents did. Boom.
Thank you, Richard. Boom. Starting us off with round number 2, Slam 5. What am I? Slam 5. Season 5.
Season 5.
Slam number 3.
Yes.
Happy belated birthday, Mary.
Thank you, Sean.
Are you somebody who kind of likes getting older? One of these people?
Yeah. Well, you know, when you've had a near-death experience, you're like, you know what? I'm glad I have every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to tell that story sometime.
I mean, I can't believe you just threw that out there and then we don't like, that's it. And that's all we get. Yeah, I've had a near-death experience. Sure.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. I got robbed at gunpoint.
You did?
I did, at a store I was working at when I was 16, and every day I've appreciated every day I'm here.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow. So it doesn't sort of like rub off after like a couple of years, go back to the same like, no, wow.
Not for me. I'm sure
Yeah,
for
sure.
some people it does, but not for me.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm not trying to bring the room down, y'all.
No, you're just keeping it real.
Yeah.
Just keeping it real. We have 4 more storytellers, and after our 5 go, like last time, if they're at or under time, Mary will summarize. We will have a winner. If there's a tie, we'll go to a runoff like we did last time for one of the sections. If there's a tie after that, then we'll just have co-winners. Jesus.
That's fine.
Right? You know? All right. Next up. She was recently not sure if she was even in the second round because she didn't know exactly how this shit worked. Now she does. She's accepted the challenge and she's going to tell her second story. Have fun, Barbara.
Thank you. At the age of 83, my step-grandma Mary has a breast cancer tumor ulcerate through her skin, a cancer that grew and metastasized for years because of her fearful avoidance of doctors. Now there's nothing that can be done, and she knows she's dying, yet whenever she brings it up, neither my mother or my stepdad will listen. They abruptly silence her by, "Oh, Ma, that's morbid talk." but I won't abandon her to face her fears of dying alone. So on a rainy evening when she and I are watching TV together, I simply and awkwardly say, "It must be hard to know you're dying, Grandma." And she closes her eyes for a moment, and then her fears and sadness, freed from the dark well of isolation, just stream out in tears. And with a deep sigh, she says, "Oh, Bob, it's terrible, terrible. I'm so scared." Relieved she wants to talk, I listen in silence as she talks about the pain and wonders how long she has left, and then speaks of the joy she will feel seeing her parents again in heaven. The talking soon winds down and peace settles over both of us, and she strolls over to the glass doors of our front porch, and seeing the rain-soaked leaves of the maple tree in our front yard just dripping and sparkling in the roof's bright spotlights, she points at them and says, "Look, Bob, don't it look like there's shiny diamonds dripping off the leaves?" And I feel gratitude for this gift of Grandma Mary being able to see poetic beauty in the world again, if maybe only for this night. And though I can't go with her all the way, now she knows she has someone who's willing to journey to her to the edge of death, the most alien landscape of them all. Boom.
Thank you, Ms. Barbara Peterson. So we had Richard Munchkin, Mary Richards in Vegas. You probably know that by now, right?
I do, yes.
Barbara's in Chicago.
Chicago.
They are telling stories now because in the first round, they told a good story and they were rewarded by either the judges or by the audience to tell again.
Yes.
But I'm glad, there's part of me that always feels, I'm always glad when the people that don't go through, they stick around, which why wouldn't they, to hang out? But sometimes I feel like, they would get upset, but I'm glad that they're here.
Not this group. This group is very supportive, I have to say.
Good human beings.
Good human beings.
Nice people.
Yeah.
And remember, all tellers, and we'll start with the ones that were here this evening and anybody else. Afterwards, we'll have an opportunity, if you want to stick around, like tell us what you're doing, what's going on. If maybe you're telling a story, or teaching a class, producing an event, we want to hear that stuff right after we announce the winner. Our third storyteller for round number 2 is Ms. Emily Pitts. Let's find Emily. And we will, where is she? Oh, there she is. She's waving.
I'm here.
Got her? All right.
Trader Joe's is my happy place. Whenever I have a horrible day or a rough day or just a day, I go to Trader Joe's, I walk among the aisles, and I look at the seasonal items, the regular items, and all is well in the world, because this is the consistency I need, the consistency of Trader Joe. It was a dark, rainy Friday, and I was completely exhausted and burnt out. I wanted to see my friends, but I was just too tired to go anywhere, and I just felt utterly alone. So I was at Trader Joe's in front of the jam aisle, looking for figgy jam to put on my crackers, when I hear a woman say, "Hey, I like your jacket." Now, everybody loves this jacket. I get compliments on it all the time, but when I turn and look, there's a very small woman wearing the exact same jacket in a different color. My face lights up. Friend! And we start to connect and talk about the jackets and the next jacket we want, and the company Classic Rock Couture, and how I went to their flagship store in Arizona. And we talk for 5 minutes while her husband has to awkwardly stand there. And then we part ways. But that's what I needed at Trader Joe's that night. Not cookies, but a friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. Is it just me, Mary, or did Emily change?
She did. She did a costume change.
It was like round 2, I'm going to put something else on, put something colorful. She's sort of playing, all right, maybe round 2 is sort of orange, yellows, reds.
Right. It was like a Cher encore.
Yeah.
If I could turn back time. Okay.
Oh, right. Oh, you meant Cher as in CHER.
Yeah.
I thought, I didn't understand that. Okay, yeah.
Cher. Costume change. She does like 8 of them during her show.
Sure.
I know Emily's shaking her. She's like, you know what?
Tough girl. Tough.
It is, well, tough Sean.
Tough Sean. It's not making it easy. Fair enough. All right. We've got two more, and then again we will do one more vote, and then we will hang out. Next up, and two more left. That's it. Queen Mary. Tyler Sanders, number 2, the second El Dos in the Commonwealth. Let's spotlight him and take your time, Tyler.
Appreciate it. In school, I always felt kind of cool for being young for my grade. And I'll be honest, I think it was because I was an overly competitive brat and it felt extra good acing tests being a year younger. But when everyone was turning 16 and I had to constantly ask for a ride, it felt pretty uncool. And I didn't want to be a burden. So I was damn excited when it was finally my time to take my driver's test. I mean, I had done all the behind the wheels diligently, aced the written test, driven my mom's tiny Hyundai silver accent, right? Head pressed into the roof, all over every inch of Kimberly, Wisconsin, which is a small town to be fair, but every inch. Now, I was confident, but I like to hedge my bets. I had seen firsthand the torment offered by teenagers, firsthand the torment faced by those who had failed their tests. So I kept my date under wraps. My day comes, I get into the car, seatbelt on, all checks are clean, made perfectly, and I start moving. I'm confident, gripping the wheel, not too tightly, but right as I'm about to leave the parking lot, I need to make a left turn. A car approaches from the right. We look at each other awkwardly. I freeze. I don't know what's happening. I literally can't think, but he's not moving. So I just take a left turn. In under 30 seconds, I fail my driver's test, and I still hedge my bets.
Thank you, Tayo. Queen Mary, is it just, do you?
Do I what? Oh my.
So curious about what's in people's worlds and spaces just beyond the little square. Do you ever feel that? Or you ever think about that?
I do.
Like what's just beyond the
right? What's outside of the other room?
The rectangle.
Mhm.
You know?
That's a good the idea. It's a bigger philosophical discussion about
sure.
Right?
Do you think there's anybody here tonight who is not wearing anything below the belt?
Oh, I'm sure there's several.
There's probably a few of them, right?
Yeah, there's fairly few.
Like they're gonna wear something on top, but below belt, it's like, well, I'll do whatever I want. It's my home. I'm sorry.
Or they have fuzzy slippers on and pajamas on the bottom. You know what I mean? This is a fun group.
This is a good group of people.
It is. All
right. We've got one more storyteller, and then we will do some summaries, and we'll do a vote, and we'll have a winner, and then we'll hang out and talk. She knows who she is because she's been patiently waiting. Process of elimination. We're back to California. Here's Neshama Franklin. Take it away.
Everyone else on this Grand Canyon raft trip was cheerfully bouncing down the little Colorado. But my sister and I were sloshing upstream. She had told me to come on this trip. It's the trip of a lifetime. Now, my husband, John, had died 9 months ago, and I didn't think I was going to be ready. But she said, oh, it's a gestational period. And besides, John, we would have loved it, but he couldn't come down. Well, guess what? He was kind of coming down with us in the form of a sack of ashes. And so I lifted that sack and turned it over. I expected to see a beautiful helix that would send him out into the Colorado, out into the ocean, out into wherever. And of course, a wind sprang up and plastered John all over me. And all I could do was dunk and weep and dunk, and you should know I'm somebody who does not weep much. And when he was washed off, I went down the little Colorado with the rest of the revelers. And when I emerged the third time, the guide said, Neshama, what was going on? I've never seen anyone with an expression like that. You look positively beatific. And I said, I was traveling down with my husband, John, and I was learning to let him go.
Thank you, Neshama. A lovely way to end our stories this evening. Great job by everybody, as always. All of our storytellers and all of our audience. Thank you very much for joining. I really appreciate it.
Yes.
Mary, we have got 5 summaries, and then we'll have a winner. And I want to encourage people. I really do want to thank everyone. I know there's a lot of ways you can spend your Sunday, so thank you. But if you want to hang out and talk, we do that sometimes. We hang out. You don't have to, but it's kind of fun. And it's kind of nice and a little community. All right. So everyone was at or under time.
Excellent.
So I'm gonna do the poll, and I'm ready for you when you're ready.
All right, I'm ready. So Richard's hoping he has the same passion for his wife like he saw with his parents when they were getting frisky in the diner after 57 years, because he already has passion for her. Barbara talked with Grandma Mary when she was dealing with breast cancer and looking at the shiny diamonds on the trees of water, but they could walk almost together to the edge of death in their journey. Emily didn't need any cookies at Trader Joe's. She found a friend there based on similar, actually exact jackets in different colors. Tayo didn't tell anybody about his driving test, and that was a good thing because his first time out, he didn't do so well. And Neshama took a trip of a lifetime with her husband and wept and dunked and wept and dunked and learned to let him go.
All right. I think I've done a decent job summarizing here. But again, they just heard the stories. They heard you. I think this is good. So again, this will, I'll launch this in just a moment. And when we do, we will have a winner. And just so everyone knows, if there's a tie, we will actually do what we did in round 1 for one of the sections, and we'll do one more launch, and then we'll just have co-winners if there's another tie after that. Everyone vote. We will have ourselves one more winner to add to the list, and 26 of you can vote. Kat and Mary, you see this, right? So I'm going to ask one of you to announce the winner in a moment or two. It's close. We have 6 more people who could vote. I think we are gonna have ourselves. Yeah. Let's wait till 30 seconds. There's a couple people who haven't voted, but I think it's not gonna make a difference here. All right. Kat, can you give me a thumbs up that you saw that? You did. Cool. Because if we announce the winner and it's the wrong name, that would be awkward. We've already had enough awkward for them for this evening. You know what I'm saying? All right. So again, awesome job, everybody. Huge thanks to our tellers, to the audience, of course, as always, to Queen Mary and the lovely Kat Teen who helped us out in a myriad ways. Kat, would you please? Do we have a drum roll, Mary? Did we ever actually get like a drum roll sound?
I don't think we did. I think we just have to make one.
Metaphorical drum roll. Kat, when you are ready, would you please announce the winner of Seasons 5, Slam number 3?
Well, it is Neshama Franklin.
Woo! All right, Neshama.
That was a close match, though. Woohoo!
It was.
That was my great job. Let's unmute Neshama, and what we're going to do right now is bid everyone a formal goodbye, particularly those on Facebook Live, because we're going to stop in a moment, and thank everyone again, everybody involved in whatever way you were involved. Thank you, thank you, thank you.